Okay, my friends, we are still talking ratios, and today we're looking at lesson 5-2, and you can hear Lexi here. She's whining. She's very sad. Today our target is that you can use multiplication and division to find equivalent ratios. This is going to seem like we've already done this when we talked about fractions today. So yes, use that knowledge, pull that out from before. I want you in your comp book to write down the definition of an equivalent ratio, and it's just ratios that express the same relationship. So if I have two dogs to 3 cats, I have to stay that way. We're going to do a problem in here around a recipe. So if I am making brownies and I have 2 cups of flour for every cup of sugar and I want to make multiple batches, I can't change that ratio. It has to be the same relationship between those two measurements. So same idea. So in example number 1, we're using multiplication to find equivalent ratios. And so a basketball team might have 16 players, and a soccer team might have 48, which seems a little odd to me, but we'll just go with that as an example. And so if we were going to add another squad, we could multiply this by 2. And do you remember what I would say? If you do it to the top, you have to do it to the bottom. We would also multiply this by 2, and we would get 32, and we would get 96. Okay, can you guess what we'll multiply the next one by? Times 3 and times 4. So we're going to pause there, and I want you to put in the rest of the table to on Edpuzzle. And welcome back. The other thing we could do is if we were writing this like a fraction instead of a table, we could just say, I want to have 10 squads, or that's too easy, but let's do 10. We could multiply the top and bottom by the same number, and then that would ensure that that relationship stays the same. Okay. Let's say we had to go backwards. So on example number 2, we're talking about some shots being taken in basketball. So what if we had the 18 and the 12, and it's almost like we want to simplify it, right? So this is the number of shots taken, and this is the ones made. So we're going to look at their percentage. I know Everett would be telling us how to do this. Percentage of shots made. So let's simplify this. I could cut both of those in half, and I get 9/6. Some of you might see something else. So we divided it by 2, divided it by 2. What could I divide that next and make it the simplest form? I'm going to pause and have you write it into Edpuzzle. Okay, and we're back. Hopefully you got 3 to 2. Okay, so that is another way you could do it. Or if it was a fraction form, you might see it this way, and you might be able to go, oh, I could do this by 6 and not have to do the table. So that would bring me down. So I might say divided by 6. If I do it to the bottom, I need to be consistent because it's a relationship. I'm going to do it again, and I get 3/2. Okay? And then finding equivalent ratios. I think you guys can do this one. So the example that we have is my dog is laying on my foot right now. Can you hear her? So let's say that we had an equivalent ratio of 16 to 20. And I might say, what are some of the equivalents? So you could go up, you could go down with this. So I'm going to tell you the triad. I would like you to tell me in Edpuzzle which one is going to work. And there could be more than one. So you're going to have to tell me why. Okay, so out of these 4 ratios, which ones are equivalent, and tell me why. All right.